In this video, we're going to discuss the concept of allocative efficiency. So when we look at a production possibilities frontier, let's say for food and for clothing, we know that every point along the PPF, right, so all these different points, they're all efficient in production. And what we mean by efficient in production is that at any point, so let's say right here with 3 units of food and 4 units of clothing, so 0.34. So at that point, we cannot produce more of one good, for example, food, without giving some of the other good up, right? So we can't produce at 0.34, which is right here on the curve. It's efficient in production because we couldn't go to 4 units of food without giving up some clothing. Right? So we're going to be at 0.34. We can't get any better in terms of producing. We're using our resources to the maximum to get this. We could get more food, but we'd have to give up some clothing. Okay? So all these points along the curve are efficient in production. But which of these points is going to be the one that we end up as best for society? Well, that gets into the idea of allocative efficiency. Allocative efficiency is saying that the goods produced correspond to those that are actually desired by individuals. Think about a crazy example. Think about a society where you have a factory that only produces left shoes, right? And so we might say, hey, we get to a point where we're efficient in production and so forth. But do people want a society where we only have left shoes? No, we want left and right shoes. We want a pair of shoes, right? So the goods that are produced have to correspond to those that are desired by individuals. And we can find that. We can use calculus, and we can do things like we can talk about where we have an indifference curve, and we see the point where the indifference curve is tangent to the PPF, right? So if there's an indifference curve is tangent to the PPF, that's the point of allocative efficiency. But another way we can do it without using any math or anything like that is we can look at the marginal cost curve, which we can derive from the production possibilities frontier, and we can look at the marginal benefit curve, which cannot be derived from the PPF. But if you have the data, if you have information about people's willingness to pay, we can use the marginal benefit curve and the marginal cost curve to find the point where the marginal cost equals the marginal benefit, which is going to be the point of allocative efficiency. So I want to show you how we would superimpose the marginal cost curve on the marginal benefit curve, right? So here we've got, in a previous video, we mapped out the marginal cost, right? Using these numbers are just from the PPF and so forth that can all be derived from up here. Now, we've got our marginal cost curve, and it's increasing, and that explains the bowed out shape of the PPF. Resources are not equally productive, right? Now, we also have our marginal benefit curve, right? So we've got a decreasing marginal benefit curve. Why? People like variety, right? As they get more and more of one good, they start to value the other good more, right? So you get tons and tons of food, and you start to say, I'm not getting as much benefit from food as when I had no food and you gave me the first piece of food. That's when you get the most benefit, right? So we've got this decreasing marginal benefit and the increasing marginal cost. And we want to know, where is the point of allocative efficiency? What is the amount of food and clothing that everyone would be best off? What would be the efficient amount? So what we can do is we can take the marginal cost curve and we can map it onto this marginal benefit curve, right? So we've said here, I said, okay, that this y-axis is marginal benefit, but let's change things. Let's say it's marginal cost or marginal benefit, or you could just put a dollar sign, however you want to think about it. But I'm just going to keep the marginal benefit curve here, but then also I'm going to draw this marginal cost curve, right? And we'll just use the data from right here. So when we have 0 food, the marginal cost is 1, right? So that would put us right here, 0, 1. 1 food, the marginal cost would be 2. 2 food, the marginal cost is 3, which, we've got another point here, right? So I'm gonna actually put that, let's put that in a different color. Okay, and then when we have 3 food, the marginal cost would be 4. So that's going to correspond to this point right here. All right. Now, I'm just going to put a little line through this so you can see. So now this is our marginal cost curve. So that's our marginal cost curve, and here we've got our marginal benefit curve. Okay, now you notice that this point right here, they intersect. Okay, they intersect. And what is that point? That point is 2 food, right? So that's 2 food. So 2 food is going to be, this is going to be the point of allocative efficiency, right? So this is the efficiency, this is the allocative efficiency point, right? So not only is this point, not only, so let's go, so we've got 2 food, remember that, so we've got 2 food. I'm going to show you then 2 food corresponds to 7 clothing, right? That's the point, that's the most, when we have 2 food, right, we can have 7 clothing. That's this point right here. So this is point 27. So if we were, so this is going to be the point, this is the bundle of goods we want to produce. 3-4 is also efficient in production, but it's not allocatively efficient. This is the most preferred bundle, right? Remember, the PPF is just a bunch of different combinations of goods that the society hypothetically could produce. Of all these combinations, this is the combination that people want the most, right? And so this is not only efficient in production, it's also allocatively efficient. So society would be best off if we produced 2 units of food and 7 units of clothing. And now, if we were to draw an indifference curve, right? If we were to draw an indifference curve, it would be tangent. It would be tangent to our PPF right here at the point of allocative efficiency.